Well, hello again, and welcome to this spec and mastery renown point spending video. In the last one, we did the gear. I showed you what gear I use and what's good when you enter T4, and that's what I'm gonna assume you're using. So the 3 ruin piece, boots, chest, helmet, and then 2-piece mercenary gloves and the shoulders or whatever mix you like, the wind impervious set for jewels, and then green drops simple gear as a start. We're gonna use hurt split as the weapon, and we go. So in this video and in the last one, I don't have any renown points spent on anything at the moment. So my base parry is 12, and right, the strength is 502, and that's all like basic stats. Talisman is like strength. Here I got weapon skill. I don't really know why you could go with strength here. Armor in the chest, strength and strength, strength on the weapon, basically everything. And the goal, the number one goal there is I aim to have about equal toughness and strength, maybe a bit higher strength, above 300 weapon skill, that's already there, and wounds is taken care of. Um, I'm renown 46. I will assume that you're renown 40, so we're gonna do this for renown 40, and we're gonna do it in like the priority order you should get the stuff. And we're gonna start with renown first, um, and then I'll go into the mastery on what to do with mastery. And it's basically a guide on what I like, not like the absolute truth. It's how I play and what I like to do. Um, for example, like the main idea for tanks in 6-man. For renown, it's really simple and easy. You resolute defense 3, and then you pick maybe cleansing wind 1, or the rest you put in block. Right, 6-man pre-made meta game is that. I don't play like that. I play mainly solo or small groups, so I don't use those. So what I do with this basic setup, since the parry is no bonus or to parry, number one priority is get full parry, 20 points. Right, so 20 points in parry gets us to 30%. With the hurt split buff, it's 40%. It's really good. Um, Second priority, it depends on what you want to do. For solo play, might 20 points. For group play or Zerg busting play, um, Death Defender, right? 10 points. But let's assume it's the solo thing. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at. Uh, so I would go 20 point in strength, and that would be your 40 renown spent, and you would end up with that like nearly equal toughness and strength, 30% parry. Now, nope, garbage stuff. Uh, if you use full Annie, like you played a lot, you go full Annie right now. So we're gonna do renown for full Annie too, and it's gonna be a bit different.
Listen to a veteran a while.
With full Annie, what we want to do, um,
Good luck. You'll need it.
start this. We already have better parry in Annihilator because of the 5% bonus, so we won't put 20 points in. We're only gonna put 10. Oops, I screwed up. Let's do this again.
Are
I
they
said
like
10,
things?
not 20. So 1, 2, 3. It brings us nearly to 30. It's good enough. I could swap the cloak for a weapon skill cloak. This one for the from the vendor, um, and it's like it gets us a little bit closer to 30. I like 30. I don't know why, but it's like a good number. Then I would use 20 in strength, and the 10 last point to 40. I would go Death Defender. Right, so that's another reason why I like Annie a lot. Full Annie is nearly 30 parry, well, we could say 30, and 20 dodge disrupt, which with hurt split buff would pop it to 30, 30, and 40, which is really, really great defense. The stats would be slightly lower toughness but higher strength, um, and that's how I would go for Renown. Now, if we go for Mastery, um,
Lie with rats, you'll bear a halfling.
how I would go with Mastery. Obviously, now I have an extra point because of Full Annie, but we're gonna do as if it's not there and just pretend like we're Renown 40. Um, I'm gonna show
Can't
three
fight you
different
on, so sit it.
mastery spec. Number one is gonna be solo play. Number two is group play, and number three is gonna be mastery for max DPS. So for solo play, you want super heavy Brotherhood spec with Grumble and Mutter, Earth Shatter, Runic Shield. Then you want to come in Vengeance and grab Cave In. And we have the 1 point left from Hani that, right? Personally, if you have it, I'd spend it on Punishing Knock. If you don't have it, don't use Punishing Knock for solo play. Um, Mainly because winning a fight solo against healers um, is really hard. Um, so I found out I sometimes swap Runic Shield for Punishing Knock, and I found out that healers solo it goes one of two ways, right? If they're bad, you're gonna win, whether you have Punishing Knock or not. Heal the buff, not necessary to kill bad healers. If they're good, you won't kill them anyway. Heal the buff or not, you won't get them ever. So doesn't change anything really. So that's it for the solo build. Now, if we go for group build, we're gonna keep this one, but in the group build, we want to get outbound. The reason being that the 20% parry chance is pretty good for us, right? It pops us as 55%. Um, Solo, I don't really mind it because with Earth Split 10%, I'm already at 40%. So the buff is not for me, it's for the guy I'm guarding. Or for my old friends. If your DPS has 20% parry more, he takes a ton less damage, so that's good. So cave in, parry, and then one of two things. If you don't play with the knight, you want to get Earth Shatter for the AoE snare. If you play with the knight that has AoE snare, you're gonna come and grab Punishing Knock and Runic Shield. And the points that are left, you can put in whatever you like. More Vengeance you can grab. This one is really good. So the crit buff, and that's how it would go for group play, right? Cave in, uh, crit buff, parry buff, runic shield, shield buff. If you play with the knight. Finally, for max DPS, we're gonna remove all the points from Brotherhood. We're gonna keep Outbound, and what we're gonna do is pump the Vengeance tree all the way to the max. Grab Grudgeborn Fury, Great Axe Mastery, and that's how that is the way to do the most damage on the IB. The fact that you use all your points in Vengeance are gonna make your Stonebreaker debuff armor even more, about 1200. And this little baby here, Grudgeborn Fury, with 20% increased chance to crit, uh, does really big damage. Um, then you have Great Axe Mastery for 10% increased DPS. So this is really good. You lose a bit of utility for here, but you gain a lot of damage from this. So for max damage, this is the way to go. And there goes. But right, I mainly play solo or even in pugs. When I play in pugs, I don't take that. I want my grumble and mutter. Uh, it's really awesome. Punishing knock because I have Annie. I have one more point, so I can take it. And Cave-in, is like you have to have that. There's no point in playing 2 and IB if you don't take it. So that's how I'm gonna spec right now.
Renown.
Alright, so that was it for the Renown and the spec. Now, for the tactics, last spot, we're gonna remove that. For tactics, there's two that I always use: rugged and ancestral inheritance, basically armor and toughness. Always use, be it solo, group play, whatever I do, I always have those. Unless I like dual Sork or a Magus, then I'll take it out. But other than that, it's always on. For the other two, solo play, Rising Anger, necessary. Getting Grudge as fast as possible is really good, necessary. The last one, I play around. I like Sweet Revenge, 15% crit. I like Stoutness of Stone. You take like half duration from knockdown, so basically 1.5 second knockdown or even 1 second. This is a lifesaver. Solo play, group play, not that much useful, but it's a good tactic. And of course, punishing knock. If I have it spec, I will definitely use it. Now, some important notes. Seen it all before, which would be really freaking awesome. Um, since there is no trivial blow at the moment, but it doesn't work, right? The 15% crit reduction doesn't work. It doesn't change anything. So it's a bad idea to slot it at the moment. At least from my testing, it doesn't provide any crit reduction. So it's sad, but it's what it is. And so my standard build would look like this: 90% of the time, armor, toughness, rising anger, punishing knock. Um, armor, toughness, rising anger, crit. And if I'm in a group, right? Oops, we'll remove this one. This is the wrong one. Um, again, toughness, armor, heal the buff, punishing knock, and sweet revenge for the crit. In group play, I don't really need the rising anger, right? Because in scenarios or in group play, you take damage all the time, or your old friends take damage, and grudge is not a problem. Rising anger, I really like only for solo. It's where it's most useful. And there it goes for spec mastery, tactics, and all. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next vid.